So proteins. So main function of protein is for growth, maintenance, and repair. Growth, it's in infants, children, adolescents. Okay. Maintenance and repair aspect of the proteins are more prevalent in adults. Okay. After you have attained a certain level of growth in terms of your height, body build. Okay. After that, your tissues require maintenance and repair on a daily basis. So proteins provide that. Okay. In children, in growing children, infants, school kids, adolescents, it promotes growth as well as maintenance and repair. So these are the main functions of protein. Why do you require protein in your diet on a daily basis? So it 50% of the protein which is present in our body, you will find that in your muscles. Okay, 20% of protein are available in bones, your skeletal structure, and 10% of protein in form of elastin fibers, in form of collagen fibers, that's found in your skin. Okay, so this is the distribution of protein in a typical human body protein. These are the distribution of proteins in our body. Okay, remaining it is in other parts in terms of in the form of fluid connective tissue like our blood. Okay, so chemical composition, notice here there is a amino group. Okay, this nitrogen molecule stands which is denoted by N, and then we have hydrogen molecules as well, nitrogen and hydrogen molecules. That makes it a amino group. Okay, a basic protein structure, a basic protein structure, the carbon skeletal structure of a protein, it will always have amino group. There are no other macronutrient. Okay, there are no other macronutrient which has an amino groups. That's what makes protein different from other macronutrients. Okay, it basically in organic chemistry you will find carbon molecules, oxygen molecules, okay, hydrogen molecules, and a number of long chain protein, short chain protein, etc. But what makes it different from carbohydrates, lipids, etc., it's that it has an amino group, it has a nitrogen component to it. That is what proteins are. Okay, so synthesized from amino acids and molecule. To make protein, you require amino acid, and when the proteins get metabolized in your body, they get breakdown in your they get broken down in your body. Again, it forms into smaller sections of amino acid groups. Okay, so amino acids come together. They are the building blocks of the protein the entire protein structure. And when in your body, when the proteins are undergoing breakdown in the form of metabolism, you get you reverse that amino acid structure into your body or for various functions, maintenance, repair, etc. Okay, so that's the chemical composition of protein. There are 20 different amino acids, essential as well as non-essential, for required in protein synthesis. Even for your body to make protein back, okay, the body will be dumped with certain amount of amino acid, but the body to do its function to cherry pick all these amino acids and make a protein structure to make hormones, to make other enzymes in your body, it requires different amino acids, essential as well as non-essential. Essential is the most important because your body cannot make it. Okay, you have to derive your essential amino acids via food. So proteins contain nitrogen. That's what separates nitrogen. You can see here the amino group. Amino group means what? It has a nitrogen molecule. So proteins nature, okay, properties of protein. They are amphoteric in nature. It means they have acid as well as base. They have both the charges. Sometimes they act as positively charged ions, sometimes they act as negatively charged ions. Okay, the protein structure, basic structure of any protein, if you take, they have both these positively charged particles as well as negatively charged particles. They can act in both the ways, depend on which chemical reaction they are involved in. Okay, so that is the amphoteric nature of protein. Solubility, it can it can easily get soluble, dissolved in any solution that has a salt concentration to it. Okay, it has a, if any solution that has a uh, pH factor to it, it can easily get dissolved into such components. Okay, some albumins are soluble in water and some globulins are soluble in sodium chloride solution, that is any water solution or any basic solution that has salts in it. So amino acids can get easily dissolved into these solutions. Then they have a colloidal nature. So protein have large molecular weight, and because of this, they do not allow light, even the light, to pass. If you pass, if you try to pass a torchlight, okay, let's imagine you have a salt water in front of you, and you have dissolved some albumins. Let's say you have cracked eggs into it, okay, and you have tried to stir up the egg is basically, it's a natural protein, okay. The albumin and yolk, it's protein. The yellow part has the fat cholesterol factor to it, but the white part, it is basically just pure albumin protein, okay. So when you try to, if you try to catch light through it, or if this protein, this egg water is in a transparent glass tumbler, okay, and you try to pass torch to it, will the light be passing through it completely? Can you just completely see the light on the other side? Just imagine the situation. It won't. So that is the colloidal nature, okay. They have this big molecules, okay, and these big molecules will not allow permeability, okay. This is the reason why most of your cells are made up of proteins. Your muscles are made up of proteins, because it restricts the easy flow of water and other fluids through and within your cells, okay. So that is the colloidal nature of protein. It restricts the permeability. So next, coming to the classification of protein: simple, conjugated, and derived. In simple proteins, you have globular proteins, scleroprotein, etc. Then conjugated is nucleoproteins, glycoproteins, etc. And then derived proteins is primary, secondary. Okay, it is a bit of biochemistry aspect to it. Okay, but we'll just understand the concept of these different types of proteins. So globular proteins, okay, they are naturally found in your body. Okay, they combine with other chemicals to form some other, for example, hemoglobin. Okay, hemoglobin, the protein found in hemoglobin is globular protein. It can combine itself with heme. Okay, that's the iron part of it, and then form hemoglobin. So this is the globular protein. These scleroproteins are your collagens, elastins, and keratin. You'll find this in your skin. And then conjugated protein, just by look at the names of it: lipoprotein, where lipids, okay, two macronutrient lipids as well as proteins, when they are conjugated, when they are stuck together, okay, it becomes lipoprotein. Lipoprotein is required in your body to make sure that it can transfer cholesterol from one point to another, okay, transfer lipids, fats within your bloodstream from one point to another. So you require lipoprotein, okay. Glycoprotein means what? There is a glucose element attached to protein, okay. Nucleoprotein, it will be found in your central nervous system. Phosphoprotein, you have phosphorus molecule attached to the protein, okay. Chromoproteins, it has a color aspect to it, you will find it in your retina, okay. Then derived for protein, again, the protein that are not these derived proteins are not existing as it is in nature, okay. It is the byproduct, it is, or the end product of some chemical reactions that take place within your body. So that's the basic explanation of the classification of protein: simple, conjugated, and derived. Simple proteins are found as it is in your body, okay. You don't require some chemical reactions to take place to make collagen, okay. Your body already has it, okay. And when you have some protein rich food, it is broken down, it forms into collagen, elastin, and it can just stick to your skin and do its function, okay. Next, coming to the nutritional classification, we have complete protein. These proteins have 10 essential amino acids required for the proportion by the human body to promote good growth. For example, egg albumin and casein, which is present in milk. Okay, so these are complete protein. You don't have to worry about combining these proteins with some other kind of food to give you the best nutrition. Okay, that's the reason why if we say that if you can eat a whole egg, okay, boiled egg, or you can just incorporate egg, that is the most easiest way of incorporating all the essential acids. Okay, so for example, you out of the 20 amino acid group which we have, there are 10 essential acids, 10 non-essential. Some in some classifications they say that there are only 9 essential acids and 11 non-essential. Okay, but in some articles in your textbooks and all, you will find it is 10 to 10, or some pages you will find 9 to 11. So don't worry much about it. It's controversial. Still, they are judging which should be essential, which is not essential. Okay, so complete protein means what? All the essential amino acids which is required by the human body, it is present as it is in the this food source. Okay, you don't have to, if you're having egg and milk on a daily basis, either egg or milk or both on a daily basis, you do not have to worry about failing on completing your essential amino acid structure. Okay, because they can give you the entire amino acids required by the human body, just one source of food, that is complete protein. It has all the complete amino acids present in it, in its natural form. Partially incomplete proteins, they lack just one or two essential amino acid. For example, out of the 10 essential amino acid which a good protein source should have, they have either 8 or 9, or in some cases 7. Okay, but still they can promote moderate amount of growth. Okay, even if you're a vegetarian, etc., and you or vegan, if you eat wheat and rice, they can give you enough amount of growth. It will not lead to growth. It will not lead to the stunted growth. Okay, you will still grow. You can still maintain and repair your body on a daily basis. Okay, so for example, in wheat and rice, they are partially incomplete protein. They have all the essential amino acids, but they lack in 2 or 3 essential amino acids. Okay, then incomplete protein, they completely lack more than 2 essential acids. For example, out of 10, they may just have 5 or 6 essential amino acids. Okay, the remaining 4 or remaining 5 is missing in their basic natural form. So you have to combine these incomplete protein with some other source of food. Okay, we'll see that combination of protein. We'll see that part will come in this chapter. Okay, so gelatin will not give you any growth. Okay, if you're having some gelatin based food products on a daily basis, expecting to grow, since it is a protein, okay, expecting to grow, expecting to do all your maintenance and repair, it won't. Okay, then essential or indispensable amino acid which cannot be made in our or synthesized in our human body, it has to be taken by a diet. Okay, so for example, valine, isoleucine, leucine, lysine, casein, methionine, phenylalanine, theoran, and tryptophan. No need to by heart all these names. Okay, so just to understand, these are the names of the essential amino acid. Then semi-essential, they can promote growth, but they are not synthesized in adequate amount in your human body. Your human body can synthesize it, but not to the level which can be self-sustainable. Okay, so arginine and histidine, the non-essential amino acid which can be synthesized completely in the human body, and you don't require an external diet to provide you non-essential amino acid. Okay, like cysteine, asparagine, glutamine. Usually you use gelatin in certain food to give it a slimy structure. For example, if you're having these jellies, okay, to make jellies, uh, even the cold ones and the room temperature ones, you require gelatin. Okay? So gelatin gives a structure to the food which you put in. Okay, so that's the only use of gelatin. Next, functions of protein. The first main function, it is the growth and maintenance. For example, if you want to build more muscle, if you want to build more lean muscle, for your growth, okay, to maintain a specific weight, also you have to take protein in your diet on a daily basis. Okay, repair is not once a month, once a year. Daily basis, your body undergoes maintenance and repair. Okay, so daily you have to take protein. You can't just keep one day of the week for protein rich diet and the rest of the weeks you are on carbohydrates or fat. Doesn't work like that. On a daily basis you require these all these three macronutrients. Okay, formation of essential body components, mainly it's your hormones. Okay, without protein your body will not be making adequate hormones. Oxygen molecules also require is needed, which is given by the amino acid. Okay, it is needed to energize your food, oxidize the food, and give out energy. So for all these functions you require protein. Without protein, hormones, enzymes will not be made in your body. And we all know what happens if your body cannot make essential hormones. It's not just the reproductive hormones or sex hormones, other hormones which keeps you active. Okay, for example, your cortisol, your adrenaline, okay, your thyroid hormones, okay, to keep your day-to-day life active and stress-free, okay, and healthy, you require the formation of hormones. That cannot take place because of the deficiency of protein. It gives a lot of health issues. Okay, then transportation of nutrient, the best example is lipoprotein. Okay, lipoprotein, that is a lipid protein combination. It's a conjugated protein. So these kind of proteins will help to carry on itself certain molecules. For example, lipoprotein can carry cholesterol from one part of the body to another. Okay, so the people who do not have good amount of protein in their diet, what happens is that their body cannot make enough lipoproteins. And what happens then, if your body does not have lipoproteins, your cholesterol will not be efficiently transported where it is required. Okay, then what happens, the cholesterol will just get stuck where it is. It won't be moving anywhere. It will get stuck where it is because there is no lipoproteins to push it, to transport it, and then you form this plaque in your blood vessels that leads to atherosclerosis and other cardiovascular diseases. Okay, that is just one a small example of a pathophysiology of how absence of lipoprotein or absence of protein in your diet could give you CVD disorders. Okay, then regulation of water balance, as mentioned earlier, proteins will restrict the permeability of your cell membrane. Okay, so the how much water should be there within your cells, within your muscles, how much should be there, how much extracellular fluid should be there, intercellular fluid, intracellular fluid. Okay, the protein structure within your cell membranes, they control this movement. Okay, that's how you can regulate the water balance. Specifically, this is a very major role of your kidneys. Okay, very major roles of your kidney. So to allow osmosis, to allow the reabsorption of nutrients. Okay, very important function of your kidneys to regulate the water balance. That is the reason why the intake of protein and the kidneys health, okay, they are very much interrelated. Too much of protein, okay, too much of protein in your diet will get stuck up in the kidney, that it will lead to malfunctioning of the kidney, and you will be losing a lot of protein in the urine. Okay, so that is the reason, that is one side effect of having too much of protein in on a daily basis. It will affect your kidney health. Then maintenance of pH, the same way, since proteins we have discussed, they are amphoteric in nature. Okay, they are acidic, basic. Okay, they have a positive charge, negative charge, both. Okay, so when the body gets alkaline, okay, the body fluids get alkaline, the proteins will convert itself into acid. Okay, the proteins will react how an acid would react in your body and try to bring back the body's pH, natural pH, back to normal. If the body becomes acidic, it will act as an alkaline substance. The defense and detox to make immunoglobulins. Again, globins have come. Globins means what? Proteins. Immunoglobulins are the proteins who help you fight infections. Okay, so that is your defense mechanism. Detox is your liver's health, your kidneys health. Okay, for your liver to maintain and repair itself on a daily basis, protein is required, because the detox function of your body is carried out by your liver as well as your kidneys. Then energy, obviously proteins are a source of energy, not that great of source. Okay, but proteins are the kind of source of energy which will be utilized the last. Okay, first your body will utilize all the energy given by carbohydrates, then fat, and then protein. Okay, next, coming to digestion and absorption of protein. So first, gastric digestion, it your at your mouth, it mixes with the saliva, and the food will enter your stomach. In the stomach, in the presence of hydrochloric acid and pepsin, okay, these are secreted by the stomach. It will get denatured, and it will get partially hydrolyzed, means the water element from the protein source, it will be removed. Water will be removed from the protein, and this extra water from the protein will be absorbed by the stomach membrane. What is remaining back, the chyme, will go into the small intestine. Their protease. Okay, protease is an enzyme secreted by your small intestine. It will break down large amino acids present in the protein into smaller peptides and smaller amino acids. Because if it is in smaller molecules, only then your intestine can absorb. Your intestine cannot absorb large molecules of amino acids. Okay, it requires protease, an enzyme in your intestine, to break down large sections of amino acids into smaller sections so that it can be readily absorbed. And finally, active transport. Directly, the protein will get sucked into your intestine, and from there it will pass into your bloodstream, and then the blood will carry these amino acids wherever it is required. Okay. Proteolysis in intestine, the same thing which I have explained. Coming to metabolism, proteins will break down, they will make amino acid. These amino acids will again resynthesize themselves and make another form of protein. Okay, it will not actually make the same protein what was available initially. Usually they will make some other kind of protein, whatever is required by the body. Okay, so this is the metabolism of protein. Protein will break down into amino acid. This free amino acid will synthesize back into the protein. Again, only 80% of the amino acid can get synthesized back into another structure of protein. Remaining 20% will undergo excretion or oxidization. Okay, oxidization means it cannot be used. Free radicals have damaged that protein, it cannot be used. Factors affecting protein utilization. First is your amino acid balance. If you do not have a good amino acid balance in your body, your or too much of amino acid, or too much of one kind of amino acid, or too deficient in one type of amino acid, your bodily functions will be altered. So what happens is that whenever you have a protein rich diet, your intestine is looking for the amino acid which your body is lacking in. Just give me 1 second, 1 minute. Am I audible now? Yeah. So amino acid balance, if your body is lacking a specific kind of amino acid, whenever you have even a little bit of that particular amino acid sourced food, okay, the entirety of that amino acid will be absorbed by the intestine to make that amino acid balance. Okay, and in certain cases, based on your age group and all, certain amino acids are required more in quantity for kids, for growing children. Other forms of amino acids are required um, more in adults. For example, casein and all, it is much more required in the growth, but leucine is required more for the adults for maintenance and repair. Okay, so that is the amino acid balance. When calorie intake, when calorie intake drops below a certain level, because you're starving, you're fasting, okay, maybe it could be protein energy malnutrition as well. Okay, so when the body does not have carbohydrates to feed off its energy from, or it does not get enough fats via diet, the last resort is your protein. The body naturally has protein. Even that protein from the muscles, from the organs, it will be broken down to meet the requirements of the body. Okay. Then immobility with exercise, with physical exercise, protein synthesis. Okay, protein synthesis and protein absorption will be high. Okay, if you live a very sedentary lifestyle, if you are inactive, how much of a protein you have, it won't be synthesized in a proper way, or it won't be absorbed completely by your intestine. So the amount of mobility and the amount of protein which can be synthesized in your body is directly proportional. Higher the mobility, higher will be the synthesis of protein. Okay. Then injury, whenever you are injured, you lose a lot of nitrogen from your body. Okay, and even if you have, for example, if you are going for a surgery, okay, it's a planned surgery, elective surgery, and even before the surgery, you are preparing yourself with a protein-rich diet. It doesn't mean that you will not lose nitrogen. Even if you had a good protein, balanced amount of protein in your diet, nitrogen loss will take place whenever there is a wound, whenever there is an injury that took place on the body, internal or external, any form of injury, the body will lose nitrogen. Okay. After the injury, when the patient is recovering, at that time you can slightly increase the protein intake to accelerate the wound healing. Okay, because for your wound, for the injuries to heal, you require elastin 5% collagen fibers. Okay, to be synthesized by your body and to form scar tissue. Okay, so after injury, before injury, how much protein you had doesn't count much, but after injury, this injury could be a surgical injury as well. Okay, surgical wound as well. So after injury, your protein intake should be monitored to promote good wound healing. Then emotional instability, for example, when you are suffering from anxiety, fear, okay, any stress, okay, your protein, the protein absorption and synthesis rate will fall. Okay, your body will not be utilizing protein in a proper way when you are in an emotional turmoil kind of situation. Okay. Then coming to the quality of protein, uh, like some you may come to this query that how did scientists or how did nutritionists come to this particular graph? Okay, how did they understand the quality of protein? What made them mention that milk protein or egg protein is better than rice or wheat? Okay, so what made them understand that? So this is a dia score. Apart from dia score, also we have various small technical equations. We'll come to that. No need to by heart any equation so far, because you have to understand the concept of it. So but you will we'll just read through it. We'll just understand the concept of all the equations. That is more than enough. Okay, so here on the screen what you can see is a dia score. So it is the dia score. It stands for the digestibility coefficient of different amino acid, etc. Okay, so digestibility means how good your body can digest a specific combination of protein. Okay, that increases the dia score. Okay, that if the dia score is very low, if you have a low dia score in a specific food source, for let's say for example bread, okay, the dia score is equal to 50 or sometimes less than 50, what it means that the protein content, the combination of protein present in the bread, okay, that will not be digested properly by a healthy human's intestine. Okay, that will not be broken down properly by the healthy human's intestine. Does it mean the bread cannot be metabolized or bread cannot be digested? Bread can be digested. Okay, it can be digested and it can be used as a source of energy. Okay, it will heighten the carbohydrate aspect of it, not the protein aspect of it. Okay, why the protein aspect of bread cannot be heightened? Because the protein present in the bread is not that adequately digested. Okay, the human body cannot digest the protein for its amino acid requirement. Okay, but the human body can very well digest and absorb whole milk, egg, okay, whey protein, casein, etc. for just for the sake of its amino acids. We are focusing on amino acids here. Okay, we are focusing on the digestibility and absorption of amino acids here, nothing else. Okay, so this is a diascore. Again, we have separate equations also apart from diascore. Coming to biological assays, these are the equations which tell you which protein is good, which is bad, and how much of the like if it is 100 gram of egg protein, how much energy you will get, how much nitrogen you will get. Okay, these are the different formulas which leads to such calculation. It's a very laboratory based calculations, very biochemistry aspect is here. Practicality, you do not have to use it in practical life. You just have to give them the recommended daily allowances of protein, or based on their requirement, you just have to give how much gram of protein, what source of protein. Okay, that's what you have to give here. So coming to the biological value of protein, BV stands for biological value of protein. That is when you have when you have a specific kind of the greater value in diascore, it indicates greater digestibility and absorption. Okay, please focus on this digestibility. You just not have to break down the protein. Okay, you have to break it down. Your body has to break it down and absorb the amino acids as well. Okay, these two things are important for to rank protein based on how good they are. Okay. So coming to BV, the biological value, since we know that proteins are the only source of macronutrients which has nitrogen component to it. Okay, so how much of a protein you have, some part of nitrogen is absorbed into the body. Okay, and some part will be defecated from the body. Okay, and some will stay in your body for other purposes. So how do you understand how much nitrogen your body has absorbed? Okay, for example, 100 gram of egg protein, you may have some 80 gram of nitrogen in it, for something like, let's just for an example. Okay, 8 gram of nitrogen in 100 gram of egg protein. And then what happened is that you do the biological assay of stool assays. In stool you will find, okay, after having this particular diet and the stool, the feces was passed, some amount of nitrogen is lost, minus that nitrogen from the amount of nitrogen which was present in the food before the person ate it. Okay, so you will get how much nitrogen was absorbed, because when you subtract the nitrogen lost in pieces, the remaining is completely absorbed in your body. That is what we conclude. Okay, and out of that, how much is retained in the body? Okay, nitrogen is also lost in the form of your exhalation. Okay, and other body functions. These all are just scientific methods to understand where we have to place a protein in terms of its biological value into 100. And why we require this particular formulation, or it is just to understand that for growth and development as well as maintenance, which protein is good. Okay, so certain sources of protein, we target them only for kids. For example, we don't target whey protein for kids. We target more of dairy products and egg products for kids, and whey protein, etc. It is targeted more for adults for maintenance and repair, because whey protein can do accomplish a greater amount of maintenance and repair than growth. But milk protein, casein and leucine, which is present in milk protein, etc., that will target the child's growth specifically and less of maintenance and repair. Then we have digestibility coefficient, okay, nitrogen absorbed by your body and the total amount of nitrogen which was taken, okay, in multiplied by 100. Okay, so that is the digestibility coefficient, how well or how much of nitrogen is absorbed by the body when you have a specific source of protein. So that is digestibility coefficient. The net protein utilization, retained nitrogen, which is absorbed into the body, intake of nitrogen which was there in the food when you gave the food to the patient, multiplied by 100. There is a difference between absorbed nitrogen and retained nitrogen. Okay, when you are talking about retained nitrogen, even after exhaling the air out, okay, even after exhaling the air out and after physical activities and all, how much nitrogen is present in your body. There's a specific test for that. Okay, some serum nitrogen level test, etc., is available. With that only you can understand what is the retained nitrogen level. Okay. Then protein efficiency ratio, weight gain based on protein intake. There are some proteins that will lead to weight gain, that weight gain in forms of muscle formation. Okay, it's not fat weight gain, it is muscle formation of more lean muscle mass. Okay, so weight gain, for what happens here is that some experiments what they have conducted, they take two groups of mice. Okay, the laboratory animals is maybe guinea pigs or mice, and for one group they will give a specific kind of protein, second group they will give a specific kind of protein. Before the experiment started, all these subjects should the average weight of all these subjects should be same before the experiment starts, and after feeding them for 10 days or a week or something, whatever is the set time, they again check the weight of these different groups of mice. Okay, and then they will come to a conclusion that which protein is efficient in weight gain, which is not. Okay, no need to by heart all these formulas. I'm just explaining the concept of formula. Okay, and how did we come into conclusion that okay, this is a particular source of protein which will help in these all factors. For that, to identify if the weight gain is fat or lean muscle, there is only one way, that is DEXA scan. There are other ways as well, but DEXA scan is the most appropriate one. Okay, dual energy X-ray absorptiometry, that is the full form, DEXA scan. Okay, so go to a hospital and just sign up yourself for a DEXA scan. Okay, they use this same bone densitometry device. That's the same device which is used for DEXA as well. So get that scan done. You will understand how much of skeletal tissue you have, how much of muscle you have, and what's the fat percentage in your body as well. Okay. So next, coming to NDP calorie percentage, that is non-dietary protein calorie percentage. So protein calories in diet, can anyone say how much amount of calorie you will get from 1 gram of protein? 1 gram of protein, how much calories you can attain from 1 gram of protein? It is 4 kilocalories. Okay, fat can give you 9 kilocalories, but protein gives you only 4 kilocalories, same like carbohydrates. So protein calories which is in the diet, for let's say for example you are taking an egg and it has around 24 grams of protein per amount of one egg may have some around 20 to 24 gram of protein. Okay, multiply that by the calories, that is 4. So that becomes your protein calorie in diet. Total calories, the entire meal which you had, the entire breakfast, including the calories given by your carbohydrates, your fat, etc., include that as well. That is the total calorie, and then multiply into the net protein utilization rate, which the NPU, which we have just discussed. Retained nitrogen divided by intake of nitrogen into 100. Then you will get the net dietary protein calorie. Okay, the percentage of calorie which your dietary protein can give. Then NPR, it is the again it sort of revolves around the weight gain of a test group and the weight loss of and the other group. Okay, but what happens here is that the test group was given a specific kind of protein. The other group of it is not done on human beings, it's just done on laboratory animals. Okay, so the other set of group of mice or guinea pigs, they are not given any protein in their diet. They may be given they may get carbohydrates, they may get sugar, they may get fatty diet, but they completely remove all the protein from the diet in group B, and group A is given a good amount of protein. Okay, at the end of a month or so, they will see the obviously the weight gain will be there. The group A, which required group A of guinea pigs, which got protein, there will be a weight gain, and the group which was deficient of protein but it had carbohydrates and fat, there will be a weight loss. Okay, what is the average weight loss, average weight gain in both this group? The difference we have to find, and the amount of protein consumed on a daily basis, how much protein was given to the test group A, divided by multiplied by 100. That is the net protein ratio. So these tests are not done on human subjects yet. It is done only in a laboratory. You just follow what is the formula given in the textbook, just making you understand the concept. Okay, this like how do we get this formula? What is the concept behind this formula? Okay, how do you do the experiments, etc. I'm just explaining that. Next, coming to the scoring system. So these two scoring systems are important. DIAS score, which we discussed, and PDCA score. And we have amino acid score as well. Amino acid score is the amount of amino acid present in one protein and the amino acid requirement pattern. This requirement pattern changes from age group, gender, etc. Okay, that is the amino acid score. It's a very simple formula about the amount of amino acid which is present in 1 gram of test protein. Test protein can be any food. Any food. You just want to see how much, from the protein point of view, how good it is. Okay. Next, coming to the protein digestibility, corrected amino acid score, PDCA, and digestible indispensable amino acid score, that is the DIAS. Okay, you can see here in the difference between both the formula. Okay, the difference between both the formula. It is can you just find out what is the difference between both the formula in the chat box? What's the difference between? Mostly it is the same, but there is some difference. Yes, it is the protein digestibility in PDCA and it is the amino acid digestibility in DIAS. When you compare both nowadays we give more value to DIAS score. Okay, whatever they publish in the DIAS score website, that is what we have to take. Okay, so the amount, the PDCA score, what it gives is that how well the entire protein will be digested, the entire protein. Okay, and the protein is made up of different kind of amino acids. Okay, in PDCA score, we are not focusing much on the amino acid. We are just saying, will this protein will human beings digest this protein or not digest this protein? That's it. That's our goal here. You have to just find, will the human body be able to digest this protein or not? If yes, how well we can digest this protein or how badly it is digested. That's it. But in DIAS score, we focus much more deeper. Even in the protein source, there are different combinations in protein sources, different combination of amino acids present. We are focusing on that as well. Will the amino acids present in a particular protein source, will it get completely digested and absorbed by the human body or not? So that is the main difference between PDCA and DIAS score. Is it clear? Limiting amino acids are the ones which do not have a good amino acid score. Okay, which we have we have seen earlier, amino acid score. Limiting amino acids are the ones which do not have good digestibility. Okay, which do not have good digestibility, or they are neither absorbed properly in the human body. So that those amino acids are called limiting amino acid, like tryptophan, etc., lysine. So dia samples come from the ileum. Ileum is the part of your small intestine. Okay, and the CS samples, they come from your feces. Okay, like the stool, which the human has passed. Okay, from the stool analysis is done, and from that you will get the protein digestibility score. But from the dia score, we do not take the feces here for testing the dia score. We take the food particles from the ileum via colonoscopy, etc. We can take that. Ileum is the last part of your small intestine. If there are no amino acids in the feces, the PDCA assumes that it has been digested. Okay, but what makes dia score much better than PDCA is that it is much more, it's a better accurate representation. Okay, just because the amino acid is not present in the feces doesn't mean that it has been absorbed by the intestine. It can be stuck in your intestine unabsorbed as well. Okay, so that is the reason why we follow dia score, because in dia score the amino acid, we can see how well it is digested, or how well or how undigested it is. Okay, directly from the intestine we are taking the sample. Okay, we are not depending on the end product, that is your stool or feces. Okay, next, coming to the complementary value of protein. No, it means that low dia score. When you do the low dia score, we have to see them in the graph. Okay, see the, if you could remember the graph which I have shown you, or when the video will be, the video is already uploaded of the same topic. Please check that as well. Okay, so it means that the dia score, if it is low, it means it is not digested well. For example, if you remember the graph which I had shown, milk, the percentage of dia score in milk was higher, and the percentage of dia score in bread was lower. It was around 50 or less. In milk, it was above 150, etc. Okay, so low dia score means it is not, the amino acids are not digested properly. The higher dia score, the better protein it is. Okay. Next, the complementary value of 2 or more incomplete protein. If you remember incomplete proteins, the proteins which may the any food source which has just 5 or 6 amino acids naturally present in it, okay, they become incomplete protein. Okay, but we can, when we cook food, we can make it in such a way that food items that have incomplete protein, but the other food item which has the which has all the missing protein present in one food particle, when you eat the meal, you combine these two. Okay, and so you, in a sense, you are fulfilling your entire essential amino acids for that particular meal. Okay, for example, when you have this idli, urad dal and rice, okay, that these urad dal and rice, they complement each other. The essential acid which is not present in rice, okay, it is present in the black gram or urad dal, what we call. Okay, so that's a complementary protein. When you have khichadis and all, khichdi, okay, again rice and the dals, which are legumes which are used in the khichdi, okay, they have all the essential acids, amino acids, which the rice doesn't. Okay, the rice has all the essential amino acids which the legumes would. So when you combine them, you are getting almost all the essential acids in your diet. So that's how we do complementary value of protein. The most common breakfast which is present worldwide, okay, not just in India but worldwide, when you have this cornflakes, cereals and milk, okay, they complement each other. all the grains which are low in amino acid called lysine, while the beans and nuts are low in amino acid methionine. So when you make a legume curry and you have it with either chapati is also wheat is a grain, rice is a grain. Okay, when you eat it with chapati or rice, some legume curry. Okay, you are getting all the essential protein requirement met. Okay. Next, coming to the RDA. So for RDA and requirements, just check the table 5.11 and page number 91. Please read that, do a self-study on that, understand all the tables given. Okay. Page number 91 and 92. And even for different age groups, women who are lactating, pregnant, etc., what is the protein requirement per day is given. Please follow that. Okay. That's for your practical purpose. Animal sources as well as plant sources are given on page number 92. It's not an extensive table. The most common amino acids with really good protein value. Okay, really good diascore protein value. And again, plant sources. Some plant sources are mentioned, but they have really good diascore protein value. Okay, those proteins are mentioned here on page number 92, table 5.12.